And to be shedding more light on this important topic, I am honored to be having with me over the phone Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, the Professor of International Relations. Dr. Mohamed, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the second episode of Nile Article.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ahmed, and I have the honor too to be with you as usual.
The honor is all mine. Of course, we have seen today and for the past few months, maybe for the past years, the delivery of the humanitarian aid from Egypt to the Gaza Strip through the 228th aid convoy of Zaid al-Izza from Egypt to Gaza. How do you see the importance of the Egyptian humanitarian efforts to our brothers and sisters in Palestine and more specifically in the Gaza Strip?
Outbreak of Gaza war, Egypt under the leadership of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has positioned itself as one of the principal regional actors seeking to contain the conflict, alleviate the humanitarian catastrophe, and prevent the expansion of military confrontation across the Middle East. Egypt's approach has been characterized by a combination of humanitarian assistance, intensive diplomacy, regional coordination, and national security consideration. Yes. If we talk about only the humanitarian aid, perhaps Egypt's most visible contribution has been the humanitarian response. Egypt has sent thousands of tons of humanitarian aid, delivered food supplies, transported medical equipment, supplied fuel when possible, facilitated treatment for injured Palestinians, received wounded civilians in Egyptian hospitals. The Rafah crossing became the primary gateway for humanitarian assistance entering Gaza. Egypt also coordinated international aid convoys, UN humanitarian operations, Arab relief initiatives, medical evacuation missions. So Egypt not only in the field of humanitarian aid, but play a very great role, which led to ceasefire now and continue to make negotiations to move to phase 2 of the agreement.
Yes, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, you've mentioned the importance of the balance between the humanitarian obligations for Egypt and not just for the Gaza Strip, but for the whole of Palestine and for the whole of the Arab world, and the balance that we are needing, and to be striking such a balance between the obligations, the humanitarian obligations, and the national security interests of Egypt. How do you see the importance of maintaining such a balance during the catastrophe, as you mentioned, that is taking place within the Gaza Strip?
First, we must talk about Egypt's political vision towards the Gaza crisis. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi constantly emphasized that the Palestinian issue remains the core issue of the Middle East, and that any lasting regional stability depends on achieving a just and a comprehensive solution based on the two-state framework. The Egyptian position has rested on several fundamental principles: immediate ceasefire, protection of Palestinian civilians, rejection of collective punishment, opposition to the forced displacement of Palestinians, and that is the red line which made by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. From the first day, he announced no way to forced displacement for Palestinians, also preservation of Palestinian territorial integrity, support for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital. These principles have remained consistent throughout the conflict despite rapidly changing regional dynamic. Also, if we talk about the diplomatic leadership of Egypt, yes, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has maintained continuous communications with American leadership, European leaders, Arab heads of state, United Nations officials, regional stakeholders. The objective has been to reduce military escalation secure humanitarian access, facilitate hostage and prisoner negotiations, encourage political dialogue, prevent regional war. So Egypt has become one of the few countries maintaining communication with virtually all relevant parties involved in the crisis. Because from the first day, His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi announced that we have a balanced relation with all parties all over the world. As in Iran, we have a relation with Iran, with the United States, with Pakistan, Russia, China. So no way to depend on one party only. We have balanced relations which facilitate the mediations between all parties of any conflict.
Yes, Dr. Mohamed, in your opinion, what are the main challenges and the obstacles that Egypt is facing until now in terms of sending the humanitarian aid to the Gaza Strip and to Palestine? And on the other hand, the political efforts of Egypt, the obstacles that we have seen in order to be implementing the ceasefire in the Gaza Strip, to be reaching a ceasefire agreement in the first place that took place in Sharm el-Sheikh with the presence and the chairmanship of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the U.S. President Donald Trump, and the importance of implementing the second phase of these ceasefire agreements.
Well, Mr. Ahmed, you said a very important point, that this issue of Gaza is related to Egyptian national security. So without supporting the Gazan people, it may try to immigrate to any place. It belongs to Egyptian national security. The Gaza conflict directly affects Egyptian national security. His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi has repeatedly stressed that Egypt seeks peace rather than confrontation. National borders must remain secure. Regional escalation threatens all neighboring states. Terrorist organizations could exploit prolonged instability. Consequently, Egypt has maintained heightened security measures while simultaneously facilitating the humanitarian operations. So Egypt depends on humanitarian aid to prevent any kind of crisis, to prevent Gazan people try to immigrate outside Gaza, because, as I said, and you said, Gaza for Egypt is one of the main national security.
Yes, Dr. Mohamed Ezaby, the Professor of International Relations, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and Nile Article. We'll be having a quick break. Stay tuned.